Welcome back to Go Again Gaming, and welcome to the league that means nothing. Season 3. Bigger, better, more players, more heroes, and it means as little as it did before, if not even less. I am your voice of the league, Ian Holland, and I will be taking you through a fantastic game between Rob Andrews on Prism Awakener of Soul and Rachel Stoddard on Dash.io. Now, Rob is a member of the Azalea Cult and the Go Again Gaming Discord, and I don't know why Az lets Filthy Illusionist players in, but hey, we'll take them. New Prism, very interesting, especially now that you have Numenaris. It's going to be angels and heralds and everything flying as they're taking on Dash.io herself, Rachel Stoddard, also known as Max Ferocity, one of the greatest cosplayers in the game of Flesh and Blood today, encouraging all sorts of women to get into cosplay, Flesh and Blood, whatever style of way you want to engage with the game, and an absolute superstar drinker, as we found out in Osaka and Kyoto, where she was drinking strong zeros with the best of us as we chilled out by the Kamo River. So this is a big shout out to Rachel. I hope to see two players have a great game of Flesh and Blood. It means nothing, but it's all for the love of the game. Other fun news, this is two heroes, neither of whom start at 40 health, so hopefully this will be a nice, fast-paced, action-packed adventure. And with that, I will throw it over to the game.
The league that means nothing is brought to you in part by the Sigillit Games. Go and check them out on Etsy. This is one of the altars that you can come to expect from the Sigillit Games. Shiny foil treatment to the back of Flesh and Blood cards to really spice up your battlefield. Make sure you go and check them out when you can and use the code GAG4ALTS to get 10% off your order. Cheers, Toby. Let's get back to the tournament.
Okay, it looks like we have Dash.io going first. Rachel Stoddard, Max Ferocity, using the new boots from the Dash.io Armory deck, adaptive plating, and a beautiful Marvel Hanabi Blaster. Immediately going to activate Dash.io's ability, pitching a Fast and Furious to put in a Cerebellum Processor, using a new card to play a new card. Are we going to crank? Are we going to generate the extra action point? It is turn 1. I don't know how relevant the extra action point is going to be. And on the Illusionist side, we have a beautifully altered full art Prism Awakener of Soul, a Japanese Numenaris version 2, lag as the kids call it, Luminaris Angel's Glow. Rachel taking a peek at the top of her deck, as is her right, and just simply going to move to Arsenal. It seems we cranked that Cerebellum Processor for nothing. Very strange. So we're going to start with a Herald of Protection. This is 7. This has, when it hits, goes to the hero's soul, create a Spectral Shield, but more importantly, when it hits, goes to the hero's soul, and Rob gets to search his deck for a Figment. It does not have Go Again because it is a blue being pitched, and I believe if you have a 6-power attack, it has this little text called Phantasm, which will pop the Herald, as it is called. I personally would recommend not doing that when you have no yellows in the pitch zone. It's going to be fierce hard for Rob to get a yellow in the pitch zone there to give it Go Again, and it may just be worth blocking this one out. Rachel going to take a peek, making sure she has all access to critical information as best as she can. We are going to block with a 0 to 60. No further blocks. Taking 4, going to 32. Prism gets a Herald of Protection into Soul, triggering her hero text and also creating a Spectral Shield with some fantastic full art alters there. That is very cool. And on top of that, just some Sharpie. What a man, Rob. Of I love you. That's some serious illusionist anti bling, and we're going to get the Figment of War. So we're going to create a courage token, giving our next Figment our next attack, which is going to be an attack action. I would bet money on it being a herald. It'll have go again, but that obviously that did not have go again. So we're simply going to move to the end of turn here. I would imagine. So we are drawing up here. Rachel is going to move the 0 to 60 to the bin, tick down the Steam counter on Cerebellum Processor, and let's see. I imagine the only reason she didn't block there was either a glut of items in the hand, or we're expecting a serious power turn here. Now we're going to pitch a yellow zipper hit, putting in a boom grenade. I would recommend cranking that because you need those extra action points to turn that Cerebellum Processor into an absolute machine. Rachel, taking a think, and we are in fact going to crank it. We are going to crank that tang, and we're going to generate an action point, which is very useful with something like Cerebellum Processor, because if you see the top card of your deck and you like it, if you have something that might benefit from going again that does not have go again, that extra action point can come in super handy. So we're going to attack with this 0 to 60 for 4 with a boom grenade chaser of 3. So 4 go again on hit, an extra 3 points of damage. And Rob is just going to block 3 with his Herald and 1 with his Spectral Shield, covering 4. Rachel with a card in hand, card in arsenal. And let's see what we decide to do here. So Rachel going to, it looks like, activate the Tekla Foundry Heart, those beautiful graded pieces of equipment that they got herself and her charming husband Phil got graded over in Osaka. So we're going to banish a T-Bone and a Pulsewave Harpoon, going up to 2 hull resources. And that is closing the combat chain, which is very important for things like Pulsewave Harpoon. And let's see what our favorite Dash.io, the Dash.io. Someone who learned electrical engineering, all for the ability to cosplay better. And that is why she is one of the best of all time. Boosting with a heist, boosting a red backup protocol, coming in for 5. On hit, both boom grenade will trigger, and Rachel will be able to get that backup protocol into play. So Rob's going to give up 2 cards here, a Figment of Rebirth, and I can't remember what it's called, but it is the Figment with a Dominate. So we're going to trigger our Cerebellum. We're going to draw a card here. And we're going to pitch a Max Ferocity herself for a zipper hit for 5 go agains, baby. We're going to put a steam counter on our Hanabi Blaster, a gorgeous marvel, of course, only the best for Max Ferocity. And we have 5 coming in. I would be very impressed if Andrew was able to deal with this 5 damage plus this boom grenade. Let's see if Andrew decides to. Yeah, it looks like we're just taking the damage straight to the dome, going to 24. 8 damage leaked through here. Pretty good considering a single yellow and a red was pitched here by Max. And we're going to clean up the turn. 32 to 24, leaving Rob with a card in arsenal, a card in hand, a card in soul, and a figment in play. Now would be a very opportune time for Rob to threaten a nice on hit with a Herald. But really, he could also very easily. Yes, we're going to. It's Herald of Tenacity. Got it. Herald of Tenacity for 6 dominate. Definitely time to start blocking out here. 7. The courage token, of course. 2 force. Yeah, so you could very easily give up 2 pieces of armor here and a card. The Crown of Providence obviously boosted it immeasurably by Dashao's ability to know exactly what you're going to draw into if you choose to sink a card. So is Rachel just slamming a hand down and saying, like, send me the bill? Woof. Someone has decided that we are taking 0 to 60 quite literally, and we are going full blast, zipper hit, max ferocity, max velocity. Nobody asked. I'm going to kill you before your figments even matter. Are we blocking with at least 1 card here? So we're blocking with a 0 to 60, taking 4, going to 28, and Rob now gets to put another card in soul, gets to go search his deck for another figment, which I would be very surprised not to see. Yeah, he has already grabbed the ponder because he knows he's getting Figment of Erudition, one of the best cards in the entire deck. When it enters the arena, you create a ponder token, it flips into Soraya, Angel of Erudition, and it draws 2 cards. And if you've not been paying attention, they banned pretty much every card in the game that draws 2 cards, bar Bloodrush Bellow, Tome of the Imperial Flame, and Figment and Herald of Erudition. There might be more. Most cards will draw 1 card, but drawing 2, not absolutely going to get you there. So let's see what we have here now. Rob, 4 card hand, card in arsenal. Rachel losing the last card, the last steam counter, rather, off of the Cerebellum Processor, 3 cards in hand. But again, with Dashayo, always got access to the top of the deck, if it is an item, that is. Now, let's see what we have here from our favorite mechanologist. We're going to start with a zipper hit, pitching a zipper hit, boosting Sprocket Rocket. And this is coming in for 5 damages. So let's see what Rob says. Yeah, Rob says 19. See, the funny thing about Prism is what will happen is you'll often put your Prism opponent to like 2, and then they'll be like, sick, I have won the game now. I have established a board state that is unbreakable. Good luck. Have fun. Glad you're here. Hope you're not sad about it. You're probably sad about it. And Rachel just going to play this Techlocore. We're going to continue to set up. And Rob having kept a full hand. This ain't going to go super well for Rachel. So we're going to start with a red Herald of Triumph. So this is going to be 7. It has go again because of Luminar's Angel's Glow, which says when you have a yellow in your pitch zone, your first Herald and your first Angel each turn have go again. Rachel considering galvanizing our cerebellum processor. Yeah, so that's going to be a block of 3. And we have a third card going into Soul. The other thing that is now going to happen is that Rob's Empyrean Rapture is now online, and that means it gets to flip a Herald for free. Well, sorry, Prism costs 2, banish a card from Soul, flip a Figment into an Angel. We get a Figment of Protection off of this on hit, but what Empyrean Rapture says is if a card has gone to your Soul this turn, which obviously our Figment of Triumph or Herald of Triumph, that's very frustrating and it's going to continue to be frustrating. Our Herald of Triumph has gone to Soul. So for 2, -2 cost from Empyrean Rapture, Rob is going to flip his first Figment of the game, which I would be very surprised if it wasn't something like Protection, because there's no need to flip Soraya when you already have 2 cards in hands and a card in Arsenal, but hey, we can always use more cards, I guess. And we're going to have to pitch a yellow to attack here. And it will have go again. So we're going to pitch a blue. We have 1 floating. So this is 4. Go again. If Rob chooses to banish a card from Soul, he gets to draw 2 cards. So this is 4 go again, thanks again to that effect of Luminar's Angel's Glow, a single weapon that took a deck from barely playable to one of the best sleeper meta picks in all of Flesh and Blood. And Rachel, looking at the top of her deck, I imagine like this is vanilla. The damage has been done because Soraya's already drawn the cards. You're better off trying to block whatever comes next, let me tell you. So taking a damage, maybe, yeah, taking a 4, going to 20. 19 plays 20. Forward state very heavily in Prism's favor right now. Very importantly, of course, Angels are in fact allies with Ward 4. So, sure. Oh, we have a blue Figment, blue Herald of Protection. So, as allies are the Angel allies are Ward 4 allies. If you don't think you can sneak the damage through, you can always throw a 0 to 60 or something like that and just kill the ally. And Rachel is then taking 5 from this Herald of Protection and an Angelic Wrath, giving it a +3, just a quick head jab on top of it. Goes to Soul, get a Figment, get a Spectral Shield. God damn, Rob is just running away with this one. It seems like Rachel wanted to go fast and she is being left in the dust right now. That is what happens. The problem with Prism is Prism's a momentum deck, and once the deck has momentum, she ain't letting go. Like, you can be Sisyphus rolling that ball up the hill all you want. Once that ball starts coming back down, you ain't doing a goddamn thing about it. So let's see what we have here. Rob obviously just going to close up. Rachel, 12 life to 19. Rob, technically on 19. 19 isn't too bad, but really he's actually at 25 because he has Ward 6 in play, and if push came to shove and he was really forced to, he could flip that Figment of Judgment that didn't really do a whole lot. It flipped a item face down, I guess, so that and future heist couldn't get it. But really, he's actually at 29 life, which is insane. So Rachel is going to start her turn off with 2 resources from that Teklo core. And it looks like we're already going to start spending some of them using Dash.io. Putting in a boom grenade. So are we going to crank that tang? Yes, we are. Dash.io gaining an action point. So we're up to 2 action points now for our mechanologist. 1 resource still floating. And Rachel is going to come in with an outpace for 4, boosting a max velocity. Not where you want to see those cards in your game against Prism. You want them blocking Heralds, because it doesn't really matter how much you think you can reduce it by, you can never get it back down to 6. So this is 4, can't be defended by armor. There is an amount of value to be said in sending something like this outpace at Soraya, but hey, it's going to be very hard to force this one through an arsenal plus 4 cards in hand. So we're going to block 3 and use that and a Spectral Shield to eat the breakpoint of 4. And now we have a Teklo Foundry Heart activated, banishing... I'm sorry, Rachel. Banishing 2 Teklo cores. That is a deck that just does not want you to have your power cards. Let me tell you, I have seen an awful lot of them going by the wayside right now, but we have 3 resources. Let's see what we can do with them. Oh, in fact, we have 4 because we have a blue in the pitch zone as well. Wow. We are going to Spark of Genius. What are we going to go grab? Spark X2. Using our extra action point pretty efficiently, we're probably going to go grab our Teklo Pounder to try and force through some damage. Going back to a singular action point, but drawing a card in the process. So we are getting our Teklo Pounder, so anything Rachel chooses to boost now, the first time she boosts each turn, you remove a steam counter. If you do, the attack gets +2. Really powerful card, one of the more broken things in original Dash. If you chose to start with a Teklo Pounder in play, you knew your opponent was here to send damage and probably just ignore you. The worst feeling in the world is when your opponent flips over a Teklo Pounder going first and decides, hey, do you know what's better than 1 Teklo Pounder? 2nd Teklo Pounder. Drawing from Spark of Genius. So we still have this boom in play. Rachel probably wanted to force through some damage here. I was surprised not to see her grab something like a backup protocol and try and just throw some haymakers at Rob. And we are outpacing, boosting. Are we pitching for outpace, Rachel? Have we missed a resource here somewhere? That is going to come in for a casual 7, a casual 6, in fact. And yeah, we're pitching a boom grenade to throw that, and we're going to buy two more heralds, leaving Rob with a card in hand, card in arsenal, and he doesn't really care. He has access to Soraya, and she is going to absolutely gas him back up when she swings. So we're going to lead with a pitch of a yellow. It was a figment that wasn't blocking anyway. Banish a card from soul, draw two cards. So this is 4 go again. Rachel at 12. Might be time to start cashing in that armor, but you don't really want to block these angels because, as I said, the damage is done when they swing. So let's see what Rachel decides to do. It looks like we may be swapping a card in hand for the card on top of our deck. Not a bad call, but we have to be aware that and Rob may at any point be sending a big ol' angel. Well, when we're getting a Dreamweaver, so this has to be a Herald of Erudition, right? That is what Dreamweavers is for. Pitching a blue. No, it is just a red Herald of Protection. So this is a 7 ball straight to the door. Oh, that's not good. And it looks like we've got a 3 block in armor. We are going down to 6. We've got a card back in soul. We've got another figment to search for, and that means Rob gets to flip a figment for free. Um, So, are we going to flip Figment of Ravages, a Rachel with no AB? This is that is not ideal. Rachel going to 5 here. And this flips and swings. That is another 2 arcane damage, putting Rachel to 3 guaranteed. If that Figment does not die by Rob's next turn, it might just be the game. Yeah, we are going to do a flip. We're going to flip the protection. So we're going to generate some spectral shields on this swing, I would imagine, or we are just leaving up the ward to try and buffer our life total and protect our Suraya. So we are in fact going to swing with this. Are we going to banish this last card in soul to generate some spectral shields, or Rob's really thinking about this one? Yeah, we are. Yeah, and we're going to generate 2 spectral shields, so we're up to 3 spectral shields here. And Rachel is facing down a nasty board state here, and I don't know if our -IO, our lucky underdog hero Dash.io, the hero of metrics, even after absorbing the microprocessor from Datadol. I don't even know if she's going to be able to find her way out of this one after this barrage of heralds and angels from the Queen illusionist, the master illusionist of Solana. Rachel going to one here. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. We're going to lose our boom grenade here at the start of turn. We have kept as much of a hand as we could manage. And we're going to get 2 resources to play it all out. Let's see what we can make happen here. So we are going to start with a zip hit boosted. So this is going to be a 5. I would recommend just throwing hell for leather here. Yeah, so we're going to let our Angel of Protection, Aegis, plus a Spectral Shield soak all of this. Surely we should then, because that is boosted obviously by the Teklo Pounder. We're going to activate our Foundry Heart, banishing 2 cards, gaining 2 resources. So we're going from 1 resource back to 2. And let's see what we can do with the rest of this hand. Does Max Ferocity have what it takes to clear this last angel and somehow threaten the 4 cards in Rob's hand before she gets absolutely blasted into space by Prism? So we're going to come in with a 0 to 60 boosting. So this is another 4 go again. Yeah, we're just going to eat the protection, and now we have a BIOS update. So next thing gets a +3, and if we banish a mechanologist item with cost 2 or less to pay a boost cost, put it into the arena. And here we're going to send just a casual 7 damage using this outpace. Can't defend with armor. Not that Prism is going to defend this with armor anyway. Probably just going to take the 7, go to 12, and let Rachel throw her fists in absolute defiance. From Hell's Heart, I stab at thee, says Dash.io, quoting the famous, I suppose it's a book, but more famously said by those words said by Khan in The Wrath of Khan. Now, there's your nerd reference in your nerd game. Like, we're going to nerdception this one, and we're going to take 7 down to 12 and finish off with a Hanabi Blaster shot for 5 overpower, putting Prism to 7, and we really gave it a valiant effort, but I imagine, I would be very surprised, in fact, for Prism not to have an answer here. And by an answer, I mean 4 whole goddamn cards in hand, including the ability to put a card into Soul using the Halo of Protection. So we are going to start with a War Toon Herald, a yellow one, pitching a red one even. So this is a 7. That's going to be a rough start. Hey, we found the third max velocity, so we're going to beat that one at least. We're going to use our phantasmal footsteps for the first time this game, paying one resource to regain our action point. And now we're going to pitch another soul shield for a herald with dominate. And that is going to close the game out regardless of what max ferocity wanted to do here. That is so tough. Rachel, do you have the popper? It does not look like it, and Rachel falls to a flurry of angels. Congratulations, Rob, on taking a Prism through to the 1-0 bracket. As is often the case in the League That Means Nothing, there's an awful lot of illusionists. There's a lot of illusionist love, and they seem to do well. Hard luck, Rachel. Welcome to the Pablo Pintor Memorial Submarine bracket, and I cannot wait to see you pull your own Pablo Pintor and dig your way out of this and find your way to the top 8, because Dash.io, she's hacked into the database, she's hacked into metrics, she is going to get there, I believe. Great game from both players, and real showcase of what Prism can do if you can get those heralds to hit repeatedly. Like the ability to just pull all of your best cards out of your deck and draw 2 cards multiple times per game is kind of busted. We didn't quite get to see Dash.io at full power. Rachel drew a couple of awkward hands, and yeah, those are the breaks. Sometimes that is my experience with Dash.io. Sometimes the hands just don't quite line up the way you would like them to. But I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did like the video, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe. Tell Az that he is the man, a man of mythic proportions for being able to edit so many games, 27 games. I'm just here to talk, and even then, it's exhausting. So I don't know how he does it. Make sure you subscribe so that you get access to the League That Means Nothing Season 3 coming into your inbox on YouTube, or just non-stop content, all for the love of the game that's flesh and blood. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean anything. In fact, it means absolutely nothing. I've been your commentator, your voice of the League That Means Nothing. My name is Ian, and you can find me on Twitter at finals_spirit, or more actively on Blue Sky at finalspirit.bsky.social, as we'll have them down here anyway. So even if I've misspoke, you'll find them. For now, though, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope you are not tired to listen to me, because we have a long road to go together. And for that, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.